to the Boredwalk Podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Do you know what episode it is?
I should know, but I don't. It's got to be 180 something, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's at that. It was like 177 last time I did it, so that was a couple ago.
It's episode 180 something.
It's what episode 180 something. It's a little gift no matter what it is.
A treat.
180 treat.
Yes. What have you been up to, Grace?
I had a brand launch this weekend for a brand that I started with some friends. So that was really cool. It was a good turnout. It went really well. It was kind of like something that you've been working on for a really long time, that when it finally happens, you know, that's the week that you doubt yourself. It's like, yeah. Then it's like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But yeah, it was awesome. It was great. That's fun. Keep working on that. That's like the newest thing in my life, I guess.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
We haven't been doing much of anything. It's been like an oven here in LA, which makes me not want to leave the house. It's like 100
It's
degrees
really warm.
outside.
It's way warmer here though too. It's 97 here and 85. I just checked in LA.
But like the western side of the city.
Yeah.
That's too far away. I don't want to go over there.
It's too far.
No, I'm not doing that.
That's where all the influencers are.
Yeah, we've just been hanging out around the house a lot.
That sounds wonderful.
It
literally
is.
sounds so divine. Like,
it's actually quite nice. Like, we like our house, so
yeah,
that's not a problem.
What's your favorite activity in the house?
Lounging on the patio for sure. 'Cause
okay.
we have this like very nice patio with like a bunch of plants and loungy furniture.
Nice.
I have one of those swinging egg chairs.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
fun.
I'm obsessed with that chair. It's my favorite place to hang out.
Do you like to be outside in the daylight or more at nighttime?
Both, because our little outdoor space is optimized for both.
Ooh,
yeah.
So do you have like a little fire out there as well?
We don't have that, but we have. It's going to be hard to describe for the listener, so I guess you're going to have to use your imagination a little bit. But the way we have it set up is almost like we have a patio with a roof on it, and it has like posts that we turned into almost like a cabana kind of, with like sheer curtains, so that during the day, the sun's out, we can let the sun in, and at night, when mosquitoes are out, we can just close it, and that kind of filters them out, and put some citronella candles
I get what you're
in
saying.
there. Yeah, so
I get what you're saying.
it's pretty.
I like
pretty
the
chill
vibes.
place to hang. Yeah,
I like that. I love an outdoor space. That's what I love about California, is like you can have a home be very like like the duality of it. You can have so much of your home outside, like those kitchen doors that can like slide open, and your kitchen can kind of just be an outdoor space. That's what's beautiful like about California. I do love that. Year round, you can use that space. Yeah,
it's pretty nice. So that's basically what we've been up to, is just like hanging out on the patio, going to the farmer's market, and getting like fruit, which like right now in Southern California, this is like
it's prime.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's very good. It's good. Wow, you guys are just
wholesome.
Just like hanging at home, going to the farmer's market, hanging on our patio, just living the dream.
It's not very exciting, but we like it.
That sounds wonderful, actually. Like, I love that.
And then we've also been getting really into watching what Matt and I have we've decided to call it men's morality cinema.
What is it? Unpack it.
Yeah. So no, I don't think anyone else calls it this, but we do. The concept of it is, it's basically any movie where a man does something slightly unwise, and then like all hell breaks loose for him. So like The Crush, that like 90s movie with Alicia Silverstone, is like a perfect example of it, where it's like this teenage girl is flirting with this adult man, and he like slips for like half a second, and she just comes and ruins his life. So there's Lifetime in particular.
Dude, that is true.
Lifetime loves making this content, but there's like now Tubi's in on this kind of content.
Yeah. And
there's so much of it. It's always like some like either like an actual like indiscretion, like someone cheats on their wife, or like even something minor like a flirtation, and then some psychotic woman comes and just like ruins things.
Why are women psychopaths all the time? Like they just take everything so far in movies and TV shows.
I don't think it's very reflective of real life. It's more just entertaining to watch the ways in which they kind of like ruin things
spiral.
For these guys. Yeah.
Women just spiral throughout films and TV shows, and then they have a guy that can come fix it for them.
Well, no, nothing gets fixed for guys. I mean, no guys are fixing things for them. Like things are just getting screwed up for guys who did something stupid, which is what
fair.
Makes it the morality cinema. So
I love that.
That's what we've been up to. Is just kind of trash movies and laying around the patio eating fruit.
The dream.
It's pretty good. We like it. We're fostering a cat right now. She's been hanging out with us.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Fiona.
Oh.
She's cute.
Fiona.
Grace needs a cat.
No, I don't. I was like pro cat for like honestly I would give it a month, a whole month. I was pro cat, and then the search didn't do well for me. 2 of the times I went to go pull up, they just didn't answer and were sketchy.
You could come meet this cat. She's
I
available for
know,
adoption.
but now I don't. Now I'm like backed out. Like I'm like now the thought of having a cat seems overwhelming and like too much.
She's very cuddly.
I think it was like the era I was in. I think I was in like my lonely girl phase where I like didn't want to go on dates, and I just was like really lonely, and I was like, I'll just get a cat. And now I'm like, I don't know who she was in that span of time.
Now you're getting back out there.
I'm actually kind of seeing somebody.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know.
Congrats.
Thanks. Actually, it's been a long time. So yeah, that's my new cat.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think I can. I think that's it. Like I don't think I can handle both.
A cat and
you know what I mean?
date,
Like
yeah.
I genuinely can't handle it like both. It's been like almost 4 years of me not like dating somebody that's like to do both at the same time. That's way too much for commitment for me. I'll be the one that's gonna start spiraling.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But
do we have a review we want to get into?
yeah, I was just gonna say, speaking of things that are spiraling here.
I have a selection as well, but you can read yours.
Okay, amazing. Okay, this one. Oh, I was looking at the negative review. This isn't a spiral. This one's great. Okay, love. 5-star review. I ordered 6 shirts because I fell in love with so many designs. They are thick, soft, and perfect for all your witchy needs. We'll definitely be ordering them again. That is from Jania. Thanks, girl. We appreciate you. I'm glad that you got 6 shirts.
Yeah, she's set for the whole week, I think.
I was actually at the Century City Mall the other day for this event, and there was somebody with a Boardwalk shirt that walked by, and I was like, hey, dope shirt. Respect.
Nice. Yeah, Matt and I don't get out a lot, so we don't see people in our shirts often, but we were at the farmer's market last weekend, and we did see one of our shirts there.
We see them at the farmer's market only because that is the only place that we go to when we leave the house. I love that.
Yeah. So here's my hater review because
Yes.
this is just perfect. Aaron says about his Ban the Fascist shirt, he says, was okay, but I will not purchase again. The prices are high. There are other places selling the exact same shirt for half the price. Had I known that, I would have never bought in the first place. It's all about saving money these days. If you can find the exact same thing for half the price, why not? I won't be a return customer. For context, he bought a Ban the Fascist Save the Book shirt, so a shirt with progressive ideals.
Right. For sure.
You can often find counterfeit Boardwalk merch for half the price.
Right, but it's not from this company.
They literally have no cost, so it's very easy for them to do that. They don't pay for any kind of advertising or marketing. They benefit from ours. They don't pay artists because they steal from artists instead of actually making the art or paying artists. So
and a child in a different country makes a shirt.
Exactly. It's, I'm sure, printed overseas. So, yeah, I guess stolen merchandise is cheaper. If that's the goal, is to pay as little as possible, I guess stolen merchandise. But if you love stolen merchandise, why stop there? Why not shoplift yourself?
I agree.
Or, go over to like the craft store, get some iron-on transfers, get a $2 t-shirt from them. You can print out the art off of our website. You can iron it on yourself. The quality will be... You
shouldn't have said this out loud. I feel like you got wheels turning now. Yeah.
I feel like why even pay the middleman? Either
I know.
flat out shoplift or make your own. I feel like the goal is to spend as little as possible and make sure that the artists don't get paid or the people that produce the products don't get paid, then why even pay half the price? You
know what's funny though too? They would, if they went and did all of this and made them themselves, they would still sell them at a cost the same as yours, just to make profit and just be. Ridiculous.
Well, he doesn't want to be an entrepreneur. He's not trying to sell any.
Of course
he just
not.
wants
But if
to
he
pay
did,
as little
that
as
he would still charge that. Like that's just the thing with people. It's like, well, if you had a business, what would you be charging? $1? Really? Because I doubt it.
Well, I mean, that's not the thinking. The thinking is just like, how is it that I, as a consumer, can pay as little as possible,
100%.
regardless of whether or not it's like an even remotely ethical purchase. And my point is if you just want to pay as little as possible, I say
go for it.
really lean into that.
Lean into it. Literally steal it.
Literally steal it, or make it yourself with like $5 in materials. That's even cheaper than half the price.
Come here. We want you to pull up and steal things.
Well, don't steal things here. I mean, we don't have a very shoplift-friendly environment here because you can't just walk in. But
you can, though. You could. We can technically do whatever we want. It's just, it is illegal.
I'm saying if you're going to steal things, like just straight up, if that's the kind of dirtbag you are, why stop at giving money to counterfeiters? I say go all in.
I respect that.
Lean into your dirtbagdom.
Yeah. That goes with all aspects of things. Just like lean into being a piece of shit. Like we really suggest that here. Yeah. Like don't be half in. Be all in.
I mean, I don't even know why you want to ban the fascist save the book shirt in the first place, because like now it sounds like you're interested in some sort of progressive ideal about like free speech, and I don't know why any sort of ideals would appeal to somebody that has this kind of thinking. So like whatever. Right. I don't get it.
I agree with everything that you're saying, and I like doubling down on that. Like just steal it.
Yeah. Just be the worst if that's your philosophy.
I like that. I'll read a negative comment as well. Let me zoom in on here. A woman's place is in the coven is the shirt that I was wearing in this video. And somebody commented, I don't agree with your shirt. We should just stay in the kitchen. Yeah, it sounds like it's a woman saying that herself. So that's always good for us.
Internalized misogyny.
Yeah, it's always refreshing. But you know what? Also, if you want to stay in the kitchen all day long and that's what you like, that maybe you're better in there than in the streets with your mentality and how you view things. You probably are better off just staying yourself locked in the kitchen with that attitude. I hope you
vibe there.
Yeah, I hope you find your way out though sometime. Like there's light that comes into the kitchen and I feel like sometimes you should follow it. So if you don't want to, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. It's really nice out there. A lot of opportunity for you. Just give it a shot. And let me know. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
That's
Speaking of terrible people, the other thing I've been seeing a lot of lately is I keep getting served things that I've written, like tweets and things, on other people's accounts where they've stolen my writing and not credited me. An ongoing problem.
Right.
But if I happen upon it, I'll usually like DM them and be like, take this down. This is my writing. It's not yours. You can't use it. Get it out of here. And 100% of the time when the conversation is like clockwork. It's the exact same conversation every time. This is mine. Please take it down. You don't have permission to use it. I didn't know it was yours. Okay. Now you know it's not yours. Right. So I don't know why you thought it was free to take. Right. But it also doesn't matter. You could have figured out who it belongs to. Like you can just search the phrase and figure it out. And B, like, if you don't know and you know it's not yours, don't post it because it's obviously going to be damaging to a creator in some way. But the whole, like, well, I didn't know is, as a defense, very tiresome. Right. To which I always respond with, like, well, even if you don't know who it belongs to, like, you can't just post someone else's writing.
Yours.
Yeah.
Like, no matter whose it is, it's somebody else's.
And then they always block me in response when I'm like, no, this isn't
because they're going to do it again. That's the thing. Like, they block you because it's like, well, now that I know, I'm going to keep doing it and you just won't see it.
What they don't know is I have so many Finstas. Fake Insta accounts. So
what do you not know here is Meredith will still find you.
I will still find you if you're continuing to use my content. I will still get it taken down. I will either tell you to take it down or I will tell Meta to take it down or whatever.
Like it's getting taken down.
Yeah, like creative work is work. Like
sure is.
If I were working in another company and writing tweets for them, they would be paying me to write that content for their brand to make money off of. This company basically pays me to do that. So no, our work is like not free for other people to just like monetize.
It's not.
Very tiresome.
But you actually had to put time and energy and effort into that. So that doesn't really sound appealing to other people, you know. It's way easier to just take your time, energy, and effort, you know?
I feel like there's a theme here. Stealing things.
Yeah. People like to steal. But also not fully do it, you know? Just like half in and still get credit for it. That's more fun.
Yes, but also somehow feel like they're a good person on top of it. Like, you know, you're
because
a person
they got a like and a retweet.
You got a like, you got a retweet, you get to walk around town in your Band the Fascist shirt, looking
like
somebody who cares about things.
Do you get what I'm saying? So they are winning, you know, and they just want some free stuff too at the end of the day. Like, let me complain about it just so I can, you know, reap the benefits of it.
I think if the internet were just like the original content, meaning like something we create just exists in our accounts, or what you create exists in your account, I think the internet would be like 1% of its current size.
I agree.
There would be so much less stuff on there if it was just like the people making the things were the ones posting it, and it wasn't being like stolen times a billion.
Yeah. Like what blew my mind is when like social media started becoming like a really big thing was what's trending, to do what everyone else is doing. Like that's a really strange concept to me. Like, and it is part of it, it's part of the whole process of things, but doing what's trending is the baseline of social media in a lot of senses. And
as a user, I hate it, though, because then if I'm scrolling, I'm like, okay, I've seen this sound 12 times
with the same
20 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
this
is
super strange. And like as somebody that like creates like, it's like that to me is the ickiest thing, to just see what everyone else is doing and find my way to do the same exact thing. Like,
it's also just not an enjoyable experience. Like, I wouldn't enjoy putting out content that isn't mine, that I stole from somebody, and then what people like it, but it's not actually liking our work. It's liking someone else's work that isn't getting any credit.
I know. I couldn't tell you. Or just like taking somebody's voice that's not even yours and melting over it. Like, congratulations, you know how to speak? You don't even know how. Like, you're not even using your own words. Like, you know how to lip sync to something.
I hate it so much.
Enough of that before my skin boils. But here's a question here. What is the most regrettable personal style decision? You want to answer that before we read other people's?
Yeah. Crimped hair was big when I was a kid.
God.
And obviously had to try that out.
I did too. I crimped my hair.
I think there's some photos of me
it doesn't look good on literally anyone.
It's a terrible look.
Christina Aguilera actually looked good with it. I will have to say, she rocked the crimped look. Like, she would have the straight pieces, and no, that was it. She would go full crimped, but then Avril Lavigne would do the crimp and then straight and then the crimp, and then she could just kind of do whatever she wanted, though. That if it wasn't her, it'd be like, what is she doing? But it's like Avril Lavigne, so you're like, cool. But that's even more about like the crimp, straight crimp, that you're looking.
I mean, you're talking about rock stars now who can pull off a lot.
Know.
Normal people, but also even rock stars would look better if they did not crimp their hair.
That's very true. That's very true. There is just something about it, I guess, if you're just like obviously a high intensity person, like on a stage, where you're like, But when you're just like walking to CVS, it's like.
Well, Gen Z has been bringing back a lot of things from the 1990s. Like, it's really big right now. Gen Z, I am begging you, do not bring back the crimped hair. Please. Yeah. It is so bad. You will look back at photos of yourselves in 20 years and be like, what the hell was I thinking?
It's not a good look. And I hate how everyone used to just put tons of clips in their hair? Like,
also bad.
And everyone's doing it again, and you just have like a line of clips, and your hair is still in your face.
It like also seems uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then it's like your scalp is hurting. Like, It's just like, it looks so bad. I hate the clips in your hair, and they're all just like really bright colors. It's not a good look. The low-rise pants are weird too. Yeah, because then that brings a whole other thing where it's like, then you got to be like a stick, like an actual stick, to wear like low-rise pants like that and a crop top. And we don't need that like anorexic, bulimic vibe from the 90s to come back either.
Very Bratz doll. Plus, if you really want to do it up, you got to have like the thong sticking out from the top of the low-rise pants. What a nightmare. Maybe a little tattoo back there.
Oh my God, stop the butterfly.
The butterfly tattoo on the lower back with the thong sticking out of the low-rise jeans.
Oh my God. Was this the era of daddy issues? Like,
It was an era. Do you remember this from like 20 years ago?
Yeah, I do. Wow.
Yeah, it was a real mess.
Get her a jacket. Yes. And then the platform sandals. I saw some girls. I saw some girls on Melrose Ave the other day with like the really thick like platform sandal. One of them, I didn't hate it because she had like these cool like bell bottom pants on with it, and she wasn't that tall, and I think the pants were way too long, and it looked kind of cool. But the other girl, that's with the skirts that have the thick right here, and then they like flow out. Those are from the 90s as well. You know what I mean? The cinched waist, and then stops at your butt, and then it has like a little bit of like flared material, a little bit of flared fabric.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And then you put the thick belts over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, because it was like flat like that, so you could put the belts over it. and she had the belts and the flip-flops and then the sunglasses with the little like gems on it and then like the metal lining.
You're painting a picture.
You know exactly what I'm saying now.
Yeah.
Baseball hat, the trucker Von Dutch
Oh,
hats.
yeah. You gotta be careful with the, like, really, now I'm gonna sound very old, but, like, the really big platform shoes is, like, an ankle sprain, like, waiting to happen.
It is.
It's so dangerous.
It is, even if you're, like, 100% sober. Like, a little thing on the street can just throw you.
Yeah, you're just walking around town in stilts, and you're, like, not a pro.
I know, like, anything can toss you, like, somebody honking their horn in your wrong direction, like, women are just ready to just get taken down in those at any time. And we need all the support we can get.
Well, I'm actually a little surprised men haven't taken this up, because you think it would appeal to them, the platform shoe, because they could look taller.
I know.
So I'm surprised they haven't jumped on
I
this.
couldn't agree more. Apparently heels were designed for men at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
I don't know how they let that get away.
I don't either.
I wish they would have kept it.
I do too. I know.
You can have it back, fellas. We don't want it.
Be gone with it.
I'm a sneakers girl. You'll rarely see me in anything but
I
sneakers.
like, if I'm going to wear something that has a heel to it, I like boots. Like, I like a heeled boot because they're comfortable. And then I like the sound. And then I just feel like also, like, I'm 5'8" already. So then I'm, like, 6 foot. And I'm just like, just stop talking to me. Like, just get away. That I also, like, less men will come over and talk to you when you're 6 foot. Because they're scared of you and they're not as tall as you, and then they'll actually know that they're not actually 6 foot. I'll be like, I've gone on dates with men that in their dating profile they have said that they're 6 foot, and I show up and I'm literally taller than them, and I'm like, you're 5'9", like, it's just a fact. And it's like, just don't lie. And also, who cares either? Like, there's nothing like less attractive about you because you're 5'9" or 5'10" to me. It's when you lie about it. That's unattractive. You, like, what else are you gonna lie about? I already know you're a liar, and I haven't even talked to you, really.
I've exclusively dated men that are 5'10". Now, I haven't dated a lot of people, but they were all exactly that height.
I couldn't agree more.
So
I am always in the 5'10". Like, any guy that I've ever, my first boyfriend was, like, over 6 foot, but he was the biggest ass. Anyone that's over 6 foot is such an asshole, though, that I've ever dated.
I'm very short, so I can't go much over that.
Right, you are very short.
I'm pushing the limits at 5'10", but
right.
I don't know. And it's not intentional, it's just what seems to have happened, but like 100% of the time.
I also think 5'10" is just like a very like normal height for a guy.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like 5'10", they're all like 5'10". Like
they all are.
They're all 5'10". Why are guys all 5'10"?
They came out of the 5'10" factory.
There's such a huge 5'10" factory for men. It's like 5'8", 5'10", 6 foot. And like that's it.
Well, so I go to professional events for like entrepreneurship,
5'10" guys.
No, actually, that's the thing that's annoying about it is that crowd, and I do think there's a reason for it. They're all extraordinarily tall. Like 6 feet is on the short side for that crowd. Most of them are like 6'3", 6'5", like they're big. And so when I'm at these events, I'm trying to have a conversation with them.
Toss a girl an invite.
Well, you don't want these guys, but most of them are married, and the ones that aren't are single for a reason. But in any case, having a conversation with them about work is difficult because I'm way down here, and they're way up here.
Right.
And so I'm like, I need like a megaphone or something to like have this conversation with this giant, because like at one point I was at one
Passing
of these events.
notes.
We were at a bar and it was loud. And, so at one point I stood up on like a chair to have a conversation with one of them, and we were eye to eye when I was standing on a chair.
Oh my god. Wow.
Because I couldn't hear them and they couldn't hear me, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just gonna stand on this chair. This will be better.
What is that? Like 6'6"?
Too tall.
Too tall.
Too much.
Too tall. All
I
right.
think they're all tall because, you know about the whole, like, tall men are, like, considered treated with more authority. They tend to get paid more. There's, like, a whole, like,
a whole thing
advantage. So I think they tend to have the confidence to go out and, like, start companies. And that's why the ones that are
makes
running
sense.
companies, in my opinion, tend to be massive in terms of height.
Well, you do. Like, you just naturally command more energy in a room. Like, everyone can see you more. Like, it psychologically makes sense. You also, like, what just is number one rule in psychology if you want attention is take up space. Like, even with your body language, like, take up space. That it's like they just genuinely, without even sitting like that, and like you're taking up space. You're commanding more attention, therefore more energy is on you.
Yeah. So. I mean, I'm not very big and I'm a founder, but I just solved this problem by being an absolute monster.
Right. Exactly. But also, that's not the first way to ever do anything. You just run shit. You just simply run shit. Like, and know that your voice matters first and foremost, especially as a woman. Like, I don't know why we feel that we don't have the place to speak up in a room. You definitely do.
Yeah, you just kind of have to seize it.
It's actually more logical a lot of the time. So say something. Okay, like other people saying what they think is a regrettable personal style decision. Cutting my own bangs every few years. I forgot how terrible it is, and I keep doing it again. That's hilarious. Yeah, I've cut my own bangs too, and then the next day had to go get help. Because you always cut them weirdly too short. You go for it because you're like, a little bit isn't enough, and it's like you just go way too big and you don't realize that you have your whole forehead out. So every time I do it, it's like what is in the mirror is Dumb and Dumber. Like,
you're going for a Betty Page look.
Yeah, it's just like, ugh. Okay, constantly thinking I can give myself my own highlights. I fail every time. Oh, wait, once I did a semi-okay one, and semi-okay, that was enough for me. That is impressive to do semi-okay highlights to yourself. You should take that and ride for the rest of your life. Like, that's a high that should never die. Good for you. And last one, low-rise jeans. Yeah, we hit on that.
What's your regrettable fashion decision?
Honestly, they were all kind of like stages of me for sure that like helped me evolve into myself. But I honestly spent like all of middle school in like men's basketball shorts and one t-shirts and one sneakers. I wore, this is it. This one. And I had a really short like bowl cut that my mom cut my hair into, and I was a basketball player, so I'd always wear a sweatband and then flip it back and then like
it sounds like a real lesbian aesthetic that you cultivate.
Huge lesbian aesthetic. My whole family thought I was gonna be a lesbian. Like it was I blew everyone away when I was like I was like, I don't know. Like, you're that little too. I was like, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I'm cool with either, but I have no idea. But it was a hardcore lesbian aesthetic. The sweatband vibe, I remember, but I don't know what it was. I was so comfortable with myself as a kid. Like, nothing could faze me. I had this like arrogance to me that was just absurd. And I remember my sister, she was like beautiful, never had any problems. Like, she never had like needed to hit puberty. She was just stunning at all times. I was like 30 pounds, braces, like gross until like college. And I remember my sister would always try to help me out and be so nice. She would just like pull me aside and be like, hey, like the sweatband look, like, I don't know. Or like, hey, did you want to like, maybe you can still wear those t-shirts, but you could put like a pair of jeans with it or something. And I just like, you don't get it. Like, you don't understand style. Like, you just trying to dress like everyone else. Like, she's like, no, like you are dressing like everyone else. Like, just like weird boys. Like, it's not that different actually. But yeah, I look back at those photos in the sweatband for me. And the sweatband, like the wrist things, where it's like you don't even need to wipe the sweat off because so what is this for? Like, you wasn't
fashion.
You're right. Simply put, it was just simply for fashion. I think I could pull it off though, because it's like I was pretty good, so I thought that I could like pull up like that. But yeah, I mean, nobody wears sweatpants anymore, which I don't understand because people are still sweating. So I don't know what everyone's doing.
I think there's like the whole like kind of athleisure, like it doesn't look like sweatpants, but it is
right.
Sweatpants. I feel like that's what's popular now.
It is. I'm a fan. I mean, these shorts are like definitely I'm a fan, where it's like you're comfortable, but it's definitely sporty. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Keep that in, but the sweatpants could go out unless you're like Rajon Rondo. He's a point guard in the NBA. He wears sweatpants all the time, and he does look swaggy in them.
Because he's like 9 feet tall.
He's like shorter end of the NBA. He's like 6'3".
Oh, okay.
So he's like pretty
basically
short.
A dwarf.
He's a dwarf, and that's why he's a point guard. But yeah, that's my regrettable decision. Okay, shall we delve into the delve deck?
Yeah, we have our samples here for the expansion packs that we're producing. They're gonna go to production soon, hopefully. So we're going to play with them a little on the podcast, but they are not available for purchase just yet. Only the original deck is right now, but these will be available soon.
Do you want the joy deck or
Sure.
the venting deck?
I don't pick one. Pick either.
Let's do both. We'll
All
do
right.
one of both.
Do one of each.
So they're still the layered ones.
Yes, they
Okay.
still have light to dark so that you can ask more icebreaker questions, something in the middle, or more personal questions. You can choose what you want to do with these decks.
All right, great. We're going to go for the darker one. What has had the most positive influence on your life?
Just coming in here with the hard questions.
It is a hard question.
Do you have an answer?
I think maybe me moving myself to California and just like moving myself away from a lot of people in my life and starting over and allowing myself to start fresh and be who I want to be. I think that was probably, that just opened up, I think, a lot of positivity in my life.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I have a most positive. I will say a positive for me was getting into boxing.
Cool.
I really enjoy it. It's by far the best thing I ever did for my mental health was getting into it, because I tried, I was really I'm normally depressed and anxious, but it was in a particularly bad spell. Right. And just trying everything, like therapy and journaling and meditating, like nothing was hitting.
Just because you got the physical added to it.
Yeah,
too.
And I'm like, I just want to hit someone. That would really make me feel better, is what I want. But you can't just go around hitting people. And until,
you can't, Meredith. You can't.
But until I like drove by a boxing gym, and I'm like, or can you?
Right. You can.
So you
I like that. I didn't know that you boxed.
I do.
I want to start doing jujitsu. I've been always saying that I've wanted to do it, and then I'm never making the time out to do it. I want to do it because that's the one thing where you can, as a woman, like put a guy to sleep with techniques of that, because it's like just predicting somebody's next movement and finding pressure points. So for me as a woman, like that is something that I'd like to be able to practice.
I think any kind of like fight related discipline, whether it is jiu-jitsu or boxing or karate, you will be at a huge advantage if you are in a physical altercation with any other person, unless they also have fight training, then not. But the average like woman who has a bunch of experience, even with boxing, if a guy is coming at her, has more likelihood of being able to get out of that situation safely, just because she has a lot of experience with it. Like the first thing that you're
not as scared of it too. Like you've been in like the contact of a fighting setting. You know what I mean? Because most women, it's just like this is the first time that you've seen it, and it's now life or death.
Most people, if you take a swing at them and they have never had anyone, now I sound like a men's rights podcast, but from my experience doing this, most people, if you take a swing at them and they don't have a lot of fight experience, they flinch. You know, you close your eyes, but you don't have the practice to automatically like slip or dodge or block. If you have a bunch of practice fighting without thinking, you will, unless someone comes up behind you, but if you see the punch coming, you will automatically, like that muscle memory is there. You will block or slide out of the way. Yeah, good point. And it just makes you harder to hit. Right. Because you've had that practice.
Right. That's true.
But yeah.
Your eyes are open.
Yeah. Oh, you won't blink.
Right.
No, you'll block them or get out of their way. Right. But just having that muscle memory in your body from having done it a bunch of times makes you a little safer. But pick the fight sport that speaks to you, I think.
True.
But yeah, for me, that was really helpful. Strangely calming. Like, it seems very intense, but like then you're done. You're like, oh, I feel so much calmer. Yeah. So much better.
Dude, I mean, I love running miles and miles and miles, and I feel so much more at ease after. Like, you would think that you're just exhausted and tired. It's like, no, I have way more energy after running 7 miles, 8 miles, 10 miles. I have literally way more energy. It's because that you have literally dopamine and serotonin released into you when you are being physically active and sweating. Like,
yeah. The nice thing about fighting, too, is that it keeps your brain engaged. Like, if I go for a walk or a run or something like that, it's very easy for my brain to wander into something depressing or anxious, like anxious thoughts. If you are in a fight, though, like even if it's just like in a setting where you're doing that on purpose, like a boxing ring or something or a jiu-jitsu mat, your only thought is hit them and don't get hit. And that's it. So you can't think about something that makes you anxious or depressed because you will get hurt. So you just don't do it. Right. So for that reason, I think it's good too. For me, it feels very meditative, like kind of clears my head a lot because I just spend an hour not thinking about anything other than like hit her, don't get hit.
I like that. So don't fuck with Meredith. Noted. Okay, I'm going to go for a lighter dark one.
Okay. So now we're in the vent deck.
The vent deck. Okay. What movie trope annoys you the most?
Oh, there's a lot of them, but one that immediately comes to mind for me is Happily Ever After includes marriage and children. Always.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Like, there was that movie Four Christmases a while back. Yeah. Like, the first half of the movie was pretty funny, but then the end of the movie, like, it turns into a different movie. Like, they go from this, like, couple that lives together and doesn't want kids, just
Right.
wants to like travel and have fun.
Yep.
And then they spend Christmas with their families
Yep.
who are like obnoxious and drive them crazy.
Yep.
And the conclusion they come to is, well, we want this for ourselves.
Yep.
Which is
That
not
is
what
exactly
would
the
happen.
conclusion. I was just about to, yeah, that's the conclusion that they come to that would make no sense.
Yeah.
You would be like, wow, I can't wait to double down on this.
Yeah.
We made the right decision.
100% that's what would happen. In real life, that's how that would go. Like, Matt and I don't want kids, and when we spend time around family with kids, we feel so validated. We're like, of course this is
Yeah.
not what we want. We already
Yeah.
knew it's not what we want, and when we're around it, it just reminds us that we're so thankful
Yeah.
that we made the decision that we made to not have kids.
100,000%. I'm trying to think of one. Jaws. I loved, like, that movie was iconic and then became less iconic to me the more there was.
Like shark movies in general or Jaws sequels?
Jaws sequels specifically because the first one's so good that you just didn't need to do that. Like, if it was just Jaws, that would be epic because the movie did so well and it grossed more money than most movies ever that it would just be like, but then shark movies in general, you're right. Like, stop. Like, open water 27. Like, it's just like, there's just like way too many. We get it. The shark eats people and then it has babies and then you thought it was dead and it has babies and it just eats more people.
Yeah, I do like them though.
Stop, Meredith.
Well,
why?
Because I kind of hate people, and so I'm like
So
Team
you like the
Shark,
shark.
and I'm like,
I
this
like
is
sharks.
satisfying.
I don't have a problem with sharks, but I don't.
I think for the same reason like a Godzilla movie is fun. It's just like, there he goes, stomping on the city.
I think that was her rad.
So it's a similar idea, but in the water. So
Yeah,
that's why
I mean, it's
speaks to me.
definitely a very similar idea, but it's in the water. But like the thing is about Godzilla, it's like that's like a myth though, like that massive of a creature, like doing that. Like, I think that why the shark ones hit people so much is because it's like could more likely happen, you know? That could more likely happen. I think that they get people in the fear side of it.
Well, then you get like the 5-headed shark or the Sharknado, and that's pretty fun. I mean, I enjoy them anyway.
So did you like all of the Jawses?
I mean, they're good, but I would prefer something more ridiculous, honestly.
Wow. So
Like-
what would you have wanted the Jaws to adapt it?
Well, no, I think Jaws is good, but like I liked the Sharknado movies. Their sci-fi had a whole series where they kept adding heads to sharks. So I think it started with like 3-headed shark, and by the end, it was just like a creature with heads. It was like 10-headed shark or something. Like 3-headed shark, 4-headed shark, 5-headed shark. Just keeps getting more heads, and therefore more teeth.
Meredith is like eating her popcorn. She's like, get more heads. How many heads can this shark have?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I want to see like how many heads are they going to fit on this shark, and how many people can they eat?
I must
with the
know.
extra heads
Take my money. Take it.
into it.
Well, 2 types of girlies out there. That's for sure. Well, honestly, I feel like you've really just learned a lot in this episode, like usual. I had a good time. Honestly, after this, I was like, I kind of want to watch Jaws. Like, I kind of want to watch a shark movie tonight. So, hey, maybe you're inspired. Maybe you're going to watch a shark movie tonight.
Yeah. Watch a shark movie, order a delve deck, ask your favorite person some questions, learn some new things.
That sounds like a great evening.
It does.
Go to the farmer's market.
Get some fruit.
Get some fruit. Play with the delve deck expansion packs. Watch a shark movie. What more do you want in this world?
It's not going to get better than that.
It's literally not. And then doom scroll through all of our content. Like, your night is set. You're welcome.
Well, on that note, thanks for watching, listening.
Thanks for watching and listening as well. We'll see you next week. Peace.